Hello everyone, back to today's video, doing JMA Friday for today's video. So this is on Friday, we're having a look at the weather for the month ahead with Japanese and CFS B tomorrow. It's actually JMA Good Friday, I suppose. And I should get on that for you very shortly. It's going to take us pretty much to the end of April. So, just say that the first video release today, of course, was our daily UK weather forecast, just a 2 or 3 minute forecast going through weather for the next few days. Released 7 AM every morning. Nice little new feature here at the channel. Seems to be going quite well. Seems to be pretty popular. And also, the ECM do a 42-day look ahead as well. A bit of an extended range day today at GavsWeatherVids. So we see what the ECM WF is forecasting through April and into May. Let's see what the CFS and the JMA have got to say about developments over the next 4 weeks, shall we? I'll get on with you in a second. Just say that we've got the 10 to 14 day coming up with all of regular features later on this afternoon. And then I'm live streaming with Savvy after 10 o'clock tonight, and we're going to be trying to raise some money for the air ambulance. So more about that later on in our 10 to 14 day. But after 10, there will be a live stream with myself and with Sam. So that's going to be a lot of fun and a good laugh, hopefully. Right, so let's start off with the 500 millibar height anomalies from the North Pole and Arctic view down from the JMA. So, of course, this is the North Pole just here. This is the wider Arctic circle there. And, of course, this mid-latitudes round here. Blue is extrapolating to below average heights, which is low pressure. Yellow, orange, and red extrapolate to above average heights, which is high pressure. These are broken down into weekly periods, and the first weekly period is going to take us from the 2nd through to the 9th of April. So the coming week looks quite unsettled with below average heights, low pressure extending through the north and west of Europe and out into the middle of the Atlantic. In the North Atlantic, we've got a ridge of high pressure extending up to Greenland. The jet stream being pushed southwards as well, so on the cool side of the jet. And we're looking unsettled, to say the least there, so quite cold and unsettled for week 1. Week 2 shows a bit of a change. It's going to be the 9th to the 16th of April, with above average heights developing to our south, but also to the north as well. The blocking goes over more towards Canada. So it should start to bring up something a little bit milder, or certainly less cold, from like the south and from the southwest. That may be turning a little bit drier and possibly a little bit warmer there. Not for long, though. We're back into unsettled conditions for weeks 3 and 4. Takes us from the 16th through to the 30th of April, with below average heights, low pressure returning to our north and west, along with a strengthening westerly jet stream as well. So turning increasingly unsettled and potentially, rather cool and possibly quite wet there, with low pressure in from off the Atlantic for weeks 3 and 4. Right, let's have a look at the tropical and mid-latitude view, see how the temperature and precipitation anomalies are looking. So, British Isles in top right-hand corner of the chart as you're looking at it on this view. A reminder of the week 1. We can't see the Arctic and Greenland and those areas, Scandinavia, they're all off the chart up here, but of course, have a look at that view down. So, a reminder of a week 1, 500 millibar high anomaly with lots of low pressure in off the Atlantic and into West Europe as well, combined with a mid-Atlantic ridge going up to Greenland. It looks like it's cool and unsettled, and probably bringing in a wind from like a northeasterly or northerly type direction. Let's have a look at the temperature anomaly. It's colder than average. Look at this, week 1. From the 2nd to the 9th of April, colder than average week for the UK and for Ireland. Most parts of Western Europe also looking quite cold too. It's also rather unsettled as well, with slightly above average precipitation, especially so for England and Wales. And obviously, as it's quite cold, there is a risk of a little bit of wintering, a little bit of wintry precipitation in there as well. Week 2 is the 9th to the 16th of April. This one looks like it should be a little bit drier and warmer, with higher pressure building to our south, potentially starting to pull wind up from more of a southerly to southwesterly direction. The temperature anomaly for week 2 is about average to slightly above. So obviously there is a recovery in temperature taking place there. It's still rather unsettled though, despite that higher pressure signal to our south. Actually, the precipitation anomaly is still a little bit unsettled. So clearly we're still bringing in low pressure from off the Atlantic Ocean, despite the heights rising over France. And then weeks 3 and 4 looking rather unsettled too, with a JMA, with again lower pressure out to our west and coming into the UK and Ireland as well. So the weeks 3 and 4 temperature anomaly from the 16th to the 30th of April, largely close to or slightly above average, but also unsettled, with precipitation rather above average as well. So a wet, quite a wet April being forecast here from the JMA. Quite an unsettled April to come. Let's see how the CFS V2 compares. So these are 500 millibar heights. Again, breaking down to week periods. The first week period takes from the 2nd to the 8th of April. The coming week has the high pressure out to our north and northwest, low pressure to our south and also to our northeast. It looks like we're bringing in wind from a north or northeasterly direction, so cold, maybe not quite as unsettled as what the JMA is showing for this week, but certainly on the cold side, with winds coming in from like a north or northeasterly direction. Week 2 is the 9th through to the 15th of April. Again, lower pressure over and to the north of the country. In comes the jet stream as well. So this is more unsettled and probably still quite cool as well. There's no particularly mild source of air in with that. So this is a more unsettled week, and I think probably quite chilly week to come as well through the second week of April. Not much signs of spring doing there. Week 3 doesn't look a great deal better either. It's the 16th, 22nd of April. Lower pressure to our north, some higher pressure to our southwest around Spain, but I think overall we're probably still lining up jet stream and the wind direction on a northwest-southeast alignment, so probably quite cool and unsettled again for week 3. Week 4 does look a little bit better. If you're waiting for spring, this looks a bit better. It's 23rd, 29th of April. Higher pressure is out to our west, but also ridging through the country and to the northeast. It probably brings the wind around to the east, which should be a rather warmer wind direction by late April. So I reckon that's the best of it. I mean, it's probably not going to be a brilliant, even that, but it should be the best of it, with something a little bit drier and warmer beginning to develop perhaps through the last full week of April. Temperature anomalies for week 1 with CFS V2 from the 2nd to the 8th of April are significantly below average. Look at that, got the blue colours there over Central Europe and Western Europe, extending into the UK as well. That's taking the temperature anomaly down to around 3 degrees below average, so quite a cold week to say the least. Week 2, the 9th to the 15th of April, is also colder than average, not just for the UK, but through many parts of Europe as well. Week 3 also hints at being on the cold and average side. It's the 16th, 22nd of April. That one, maybe not such a big deviation, but certainly it is on the colder than average side, if anything. And week 4 doesn't really recover things. This is 23rd, 29th of April. That one is also rather, it's sort of average, just slightly below. So it's a little bit of a recovery in the temperature taking place in the second half of April, but nothing to get excited about. And overall, this would be a colder than average April, a cold average month, if this comes off. The precipitation anomaly, lastly from the CFS V2 week 1, 2nd to the 8th of April, is largely drier than average, so going to be cold, but will be relatively dry. Week 2, the 9th to the 15th of April, is near normal. So obviously that is a more unsettled week. I reckon that could be quite a wet week, actually, with low pressure to our north and northwest. Week 3 also looks a little bit wetter than average. 16th, 22nd of April, that one's a bit above average. Precipitation too. And then finally, week 4, which is the 23rd to 29th of April, that one comes out near normal for precipitation. The signal is pretty much gone by that point. So, I mean, we did the ECM WF 42-day forecast earlier on, and the signals there are very similar to the signals here. And overall, it looks like we're shaping up for quite a chilly April. There may be some warmer days in there. Of course, these are anomalies to average over weekly periods. So there may be some, you know, a day or two here and there, but it's a little bit warmer. But overall, it's also like quite a coldish April, I have to say, potentially below average across all 3 of these, Mars, ECM, JMA and CFS, all looking rather chilly, I think, and rather mixed too, so quite a cool and unsettled middle month of spring 2021 if these long-range models are correct. They may be being a little bit pessimistic. They might be getting influenced slightly by this big northerly blast that we've got coming, and that might have, sent them spiraling off into a cold sort of month. Possibly, that could be going on. But the signals are there, but this is going to be quite a cool and unsettled April. So we shall wait and see how it all pans out. Well, we're going to be back later on with your 10 to 14 day, which will include all our regular features. So come back for that then. Bring you update, of course, with all of the latest developments with the northerly blast and snow risks for Bank Holiday Monday. And then I set aside me, I'm live streaming with Savvy at 10 o'clock tonight. So we shall see you then live. But for JMA Friday, that's all for now. And thanks for watching.